Hello and welcome to another episode of Star Wars Battlefront Weekly. Last week we talked about what we wanted from the Battle of Yavin in future Star Wars Battlefront, and we actually got a lot of great comments. We got one comment from Chris, who said, "What about the revenge of the Empire on Yavin, like in Rogue Squadron, where the rebels are trying to escape Yavin and the Empire are invading, and that would be sick because of the jungles and the temple and the fighters and the battle in the sky?" We totally agree. That would be awesome. And there's a lot of stuff in the expanded universe that talks about things like that that would make great battles for new Star Wars Battlefront stuff.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be involved with the movie, so that's great. I mean,
yeah.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fresh ideas out there. But this week we're going to be talking about Star Wars First Assault by LucasArts.
Yeah, so First Assault was a leaked game. They just released just an image, basically, a concept image of just some stormtroopers and some rebel fighters just battling it out at Mos Eisley or some kind of Tatooine city. But after LucasArts was taken over by Disney and the game was completely canceled, there's some leaked footage which actually looked pretty cool, and it sort of looked like a Battlefront game. This wasn't an actual Battlefront game, but
yeah, we want to come right out and say this was never going to be a Battlefront game, but there are a lot of aspects of it that looked really cool.
There were some cool ideas. Some of the gameplay was a bit of a mix of like Call of Duty and Halo 4.
Right.
There was like some armor abilities in there, so like you'd see a stormtrooper vaulting over short walls.
Yeah.
There was one part where there's some grenades that were right in front of a stormtrooper, and he was pressing buttons on his gauntlet, and
it blows him
away. There's a particle beam that was totally Halo.
Yeah.
Battlefront kind of stuff, like speeder bikes going through Mos Eisley. There was
the ATSTs were walking around.
Yeah, so there was all these really, like, not so much Star Wars elements to it, but like kind of interesting because it's, you know, the modern FPS.
Yeah.
So what do you think of all this stuff, Greg? And like, do you think it would fit into a Battlefront setting?
I mean, there are definitely aspects of it that were really cool that could fit. Like, since you're just a trooper most of the time, that's the big thing DICE did with Battlefield, was just make you a normal soldier.
Right.
And so if you're just a stormtrooper, if you're just a rebel soldier, they had the outline of your visor, which is kind of what they did in Halo 4.
Yeah, they kind of put you in the helmet. They even show that in the gameplay trailer. Right in the beginning, you see a stormtrooper put on the helmet.
Right. So, you know, it makes you feel smaller, but it's part of a larger whole. But then there were a couple of things that I don't think would work well at all, like those armor abilities. There was a guy that sent out a hologram of himself to trick another stormtrooper. Then he went behind him and just like whacked him on the head. And
I don't think the Empire would, you know, outfit a regular trooper with this kind of like advanced technology. I mean, the Empire, they're a big, you know, group.
They made a shitload of clones to just say, like, get out there.
I mean, their TIE fighters don't even have shields. Like, they can't even afford to do that.
So having all of these like really strong abilities for very specific, like, tiny soldiers seems a little out of place.
Right.
But like in Battlefield and Battlefront, you have different classes who have different weapons, and maybe like one extra ability, like health packs or extra ammo or something like that. That's way more of a Battlefield feel. But we know that it's Battlefront is going to be first person and third person, so I think this footage gives us a really cool idea of what a first person Star Wars massive scope would kind of feel like.
Definitely. So, you know, that's what we thought about the footage. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of Star Wars First Assault, and what elements that you would want in the next Battlefront game. Leave it right in the comments, and you know, we'll talk about it maybe next week if it's good.
And last week we had a great Would You Rather with some really funny comments. Last week's Would You Rather was, would you rather be sold into droid slavery by Jawas or become Jabba's sexy dancing slave? And we got some great comments. So the first comment comes from Footage82, says, I would be a robot dancer for Jabba, so I could do the robot dance forever and admire Boba Fett all the time. So this guy went for both. He wanted to be a droid and then sold to Jabba.
A dancing robot slave. Yeah. That's pretty sweet. The Manual 768 said, sold to Jabba, I'd be out in a day when he sees my moves. So basically he's just so good that Jabba would say, you know, Go out to the galaxy.
Get out of here.
Oh yeah, leave.
Like Jabba's a real mercy-filled kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then agum100 said, "Easy. Being a dancing slave is like having a free Zumba class every day, which is a fun way to stay in shape. Plus, I hear if you play your cards right, there is a golden bikini in it for you."
Awesome. So those are our comments from last week. This week's Would You Rather is, would you rather live as a bounty hunter or as a smuggler?
So we're giving you a little bit more of a positive one. You're not sold into slavery or having to sleep in the belly of a tauntaun.
Yeah.
Do you lean a little bit more towards Han Solo, a little bit more towards Boba Fett?
Right.
So in the Star Wars universe, smuggler or bounty hunter?
Cool.
Well, that's all we have for this week. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave comments down here in this comment section below, and we'll read some of our favorite ones off next week. And like always, we'll see you next week.
And may the Force be with you.
Hi, I'm the Rancor. If you want to watch Super Smash Bros. Wii U Weekly, just click over here. If you want to watch Pokemon X and Y Weekly, just click right down here. They're both informative and funny.